This is Teresa with My Crochet Obsession, and today I'm going to show you how I crochet my all-time favorite crocheted flower, the Irish Rose. Now it comes in both a 6-petal version and an 8-petal version, and honestly, I can't decide which one I like best. The color combinations for the crocheted Irish Rose are limitless, and it can be crocheted with 2 rows of petals, 3 rows of petals, or once you get the concept of adding rows, you can continue to add rows ad infinitum. As with all of our flowers in the 30 Days of Flowers, you can use any weight of yarn with the appropriate crochet hook to crochet the Irish Rose, understanding that the size of the flowers will vary based on your choice. I was curious to find out if there really was a flower named the Wild Irish Rose, and I discovered yes there is, and it looks much like the wild roses that are found all over the United States also. I'm of the opinion the reason that this crocheted flower is called the Irish Rose is because it has fewer petals than the grandiflora rose. Well, that's enough talk. Let's get started. Let's get started on this 6-petal today. Choose one of your colors or your color. It can be made with any type of yarn with the appropriate crochet hook. Choose with your preferred method of making a ring. Begin with a ring on your hook. And chain 3. That counts as a double crochet. Add 11 more double crochet into the ring. That's 1, 2, and 3. I'm pulling my ring tighter as I come up to the 10th and 11th double crochet. Before you close the ring completely, count your stitches. It is necessary to complete this rose to have 12 stitches in this round. And I do have 12. Pull the ring closed completely. And slip stitch to join into the top of the 3rd chain. I'm going to go into the back loop for my slip stitch, and I'm also going to crochet over my yarn end. Now chain 1 and go back into that same stitch with a single crochet. Now chain 2, skip the next stitch and single crochet into the 3rd stitch. I'm going through both loops. If you want to only go through the back loop, that's fine too. That's a nice look. Chain 2, skip a stitch and single crochet into the next stitch. Repeat that pattern all the way around for a total of 6 chain spaces. If your chain seems to be curling your flower center at this point, that's okay. It will straighten out by the time we get the next row of stitches to form the petals. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I need 2 more chains and slip stitch into that first single crochet when you arrive at your first chain space. I apologize for the airplane noise in the background. I do live near an Air Force training base. Go right into the next chain space and pull up a loop and single crochet. And then 3 half double crochet into that same chain space. This is our first row of petals, and they're very small in the center of this, next to the center of the flower. And single crochet. Now chain 1 and go into the next chain space with a single crochet. 3 half double crochet. And a single crochet. Chain 1 into the next chain space, single crochet, 3 half double crochet, and single crochet. Chain 1 and into the next chain space, repeat that petal pattern. Repeat all the way around until you reach your first petal. Into the last chain space, same pattern. When you make your first petal, continue to chain 1 before slip stitching to join into that first single crochet. And I am going to slip stitch to join into the back loop so that the yarn and the join will be on the back of my work. And then chain 1, pull up a loop, clip the yarn, and pull that to the back of your work. I'm going to go ahead and weave in my ends right quickly. I'm not going to take a great deal of effort to do this. I just want to get them out of the way because this is a flower that's going to be appliqued onto something. I'm not going to worry about it because it's going to have a lot of other stitches in it. I'm just going to go back and forth 2 times and be done with it. I crocheted over this one, so I'm just going to go in 1 time, and then I'm going to clip the yarn. I just like to work neat. I don't like to have to fight a lot of my yarn ends, so I like to do that. Now, if you're not changing colors, you're doing yours all in one color, of course you're going to skip that step and just continue with your yarn. With my next color, now there's any number of color combinations, and that's what makes this flower so much fun. I'm kind of staying monochromatic in the same color family with mine today, but oh, if you come in with a purple and a lime green and a royal blue, that's fine. That'd be exciting. Okay, with a begin with the next round with a slip knot on your hook, and fold down that first row of petals and find that stitch that you skipped whenever you put your first row of chains on. Find that stitch and go under both loops. Now I've also got my yarn end that I crocheted over there. That's what that third one is, but that's fine. It is not going to show, and I'm just going to tack it down again anyway with this stitch. Single crochet to attach the yarn. Now chain 3. And underneath the next petal, fold it down and find that skipped stitch. And go under the petal and come in through the front of the flower center. Single crochet again. Chain 3. Bend that petal down. Move your crochet hook over to the front of the flower center and then through that skipped stitch. Chain 3. And repeat that same process all the way around. You're creating the second row of petals, attaching it to the flower center. Chain 3. Bend that petal over. Single crochet, chain 3. Having a hard time finding this one. Okay, I see it. But I'm only under one of the loops. There it is. Single crochet and then chain 3, and that's going to be our last chain space. And we're going to slip stitch into the single crochet at the start of the first chain space. Slip stitch there. Now into that chain space, and I am going to grab my yarn end and crochet over it for one petal. These petals are going to have more stitches and be larger than the first row of stitches where the tallest stitch was a half double crochet. We'll begin in this chain space with a single crochet, half double crochet, and 3 double crochet. Adjust your stitches, half double crochet, and single crochet. Now chain 1, insert the hook into the next chain space, and repeat that petal pattern. Single crochet, half double crochet, 3 double crochet, half double crochet, and single crochet. Chain 1 and repeat. Now on your last petal, you still chain one before slip stitching to join into the very first petal. I will be slip stitching again into the back loop of that single crochet so that my join will be on the back. And that is a 2-row 6-petal Irish rose. I'm going to make several of this size for my in the garden shawl, but I am going to also make the 3-petal ones, the 3 rows of petals also, and those are going to be the bottom border of my shawl. But I will be making many of these small ones to go on the body of the shawl. And I do have a color palette that I'm working with. We'll talk about that very soon, because as we are advancing in our 30 days of flowers, you can be deciding what kind of flowers you want in your shawl if you're going to crochet along with me on the in the garden shawl. But this is a beautiful flower just like this. And as I said, I have many of those. But for today's tutorial, I want to go on and make the next row of petals and show you how to do that so that you'll have the concept in case you even want to make 4 rows, 5 rows. Once you get the concept of this flower, you can continue to add rows and make it as big as you want it. For the next row of flowers, we need to make another base round to attach those petals to. And I will be changing colors, but once again, if you're making your flower in all one color, you can not tie off whenever I get to that point. Now, I need to get over to, I'm going to be coming in with a back post single crochet into this center double crochet that I have in this second round of petals. So I'm going to chain 1 just to get over to where I want this first stitch, and that's all that counts for, is just to get over here to form my single back post single crochet, then single crochet, and then chain 4. 1, 2, 3, and 4. Now find that center double crochet in the next petal and back post single crochet, chain 4, find that, come in from the back and go around that post, pull up a loop, and single crochet. The reason that's called a back post single crochet is because your hook is entering the stitch from the back. Chain 4, find that center double crochet from the previous petal, the next petal, and single crochet, chain 4, and again back post single crochet in the center double crochet from the next petal from the previous row. Chain 4, find that center double crochet from the next petal in the previous row, pull up a loop, single crochet, chain 4, and that is our 6th chain space. So now we're going to slip stitch into the single crochet, that back post single crochet, slip stitch into that, and pull up a loop and clip the yarn if you're changing colors. If you're not, just slip stitch and hang tight just a second till I get my yarn attached. And now we're ready. If you're changing colors, now's the time. Yeah, that bright yellow with these muted colors, I didn't like the way they looked. Okay. Again, with a slip knot on the hook. Come into any of the chain spaces. I rarely come right next to the one where I ended up. I will be crocheting over my yarn end. Attach the yarn into your chosen chain space with a single crochet and half double crochet, 2 double crochet, three treble crochet, so yarn over 2 times, insert the hook, pull up a loop. You have 4 loops on the hook. Yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2, and yarn over, pull through 2. Repeat. Yarn over twice, insert the hook under the chain and pull up a loop. 4 loops on the hook, yarn over, pull through 2 loops, yarn over, pull through 2 loops, yarn over, pull through 2 loops. Repeat. Okay, after your 3 trebles, 2 doubles again, 2 double crochet, half double, and a single crochet. Chain 1 and repeat that stitch pattern. Single crochet, half double crochet, 2 double crochet, three treble. Again, yarn over twice into the chain space, pull up a loop, 3 loops on the hook, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2 loops, yarn over, pull through 2 loops. Repeat. And then 2 double crochet, a half double crochet, and a single crochet. Chain 1 and into the next chain space, single crochet, half double crochet, 2 double crochet, three treble, two double, half double, single, chain 1, and repeat for all of the petals. mentioned before, I live near an Air Force base, and they do training every day, even Saturdays and Sundays. So if you're hearing airplanes in the background, I'm not close to the airport, but I am close to the air base. All right, our last 2 stitches on our last petal, half double crochet, single crochet, chain 1, and then slip stitch, and again I'm going to go into the back loop of my first single crochet, slip stitch, chain 1, pull up a loop, and clip my yarn. And my 3-row 6-petal Irish rose is complete. Let's look at our work. And I love that flower. If I haven't said it before, this is actually my favorite flower. And when I first started this series on flowers, the 30 days of flowers, I wanted to do this flower the first week. But I felt like we needed to get some skills under our belt before we did this flower. If you're enjoying this tutorial on the Irish Rose, I would appreciate your letting me know with a thumbs up. Your likes help me to know what type of quality content you'd like to see more of. Now I'd like to show you a smaller Irish rose that I made before filming the tutorial. I wanted to show you all the different varieties and sizes that are possible. Now that you understand the basic process of crocheting the Irish rose, let me show you one more variation that is perhaps my favorite of them all. It uses more colors. The center is a different color than each of the different colors of the rows of petals. It's probably my favorite of all 4 of the examples I've shown you today. I've already made my center in the exact same method as the previous flower, as well as the way that we made the center with the chain spaces when we made the variations of the 6-petal flower in a previous tutorial. I'll link that tutorial in the description box and the comments below, but I've already included my chain spaces here. So I'm going to add a second color, and so with the slip stitch on my hook, I'm going to go into any chain space, and I don't go into where I started and ended. I go over a couple of chain spaces and pull up a loop and single crochet. That's a standing single crochet. Now for this first round, the petals are smaller, just like in the previous flower. In fact, I'm going to single crochet 3 half double crochets, exactly as I did in the previous flower. And a single crochet. Chain 1 and repeat that same stitch pattern. Single crochet, 3 half double crochet, single crochet, chain 1, and repeat the petal pattern until all 6 petals are complete. Slip stitch to join into the first single crochet of the first petal, and pull up a loop and clip my yarn. I'm going to, with my yarn needle, I'm going to hide my yarn ends at this time, or weave. I'm not going to go to a lot of trouble to weave them. I'm just trying to hide them. I like to work neatly, and having all of these dangling ends really bothers me. And then I'm just going to feed this through before I go to my next row. I just feel better when I do that. In crochet, that's what it's all about, making us feel better. At least I think so. Carefully clip your ends, pull the blade away from your flower so you don't make a boo-boo right here. All right. And this is a cute little 6-petal flower. The petals don't scallop hugely, but it's still a cute little flower, just like that. You can stop. All right. Now with the second color on my hook, slip knot on my hook, bend the petal over just like I did before, and find that skipped stitch from when I added the chains before. Boy, that's tight. Oh, even though that yarn is a 4-weight, it's smaller. It's more like in between a 3 and a 4. All right. And pull up a loop and single crochet and chain 3. 1, 2, and 3. And come over to the next petal, bend it down again and find that skipped stitch. Go under the 2 loops and single crochet. Chain 3. Repeat that again. Find the skipped stitch. Wow, that doesn't want to cooperate. That may be where the slip stitch was or something. I don't know. There we go. Yeah, we got it in there. Chain 3, find that skip stitch again. I don't know why those are so tight, but same hook. But the yarn is different. Okay, and now you see the interest that's added to the center by attaching those chains to in the now third color. Now we slip stitch to join, oops, into the first single crochet where we attached our new color. Okay, slip stitch. Now back into that loop, that chain space, and single crochet, half double crochet, and 3 double crochet. 1, 2, and 3, and finish the petal with a half double and a single. And then chain 1 and repeat the petal pattern in each chain space from the previous round for a total of 6 petals. Slip stitch into the first single crochet in the first petal to complete the round. Pull up a loop and clip your yarn. And I'm going to go ahead and chain 1, pull up a loop, and clip my yarn this time because I want to show you how making the base row for the next row of petals in this last color, how that looks. You remember from the previous flower, we actually made the base row with the petal color from the previous row. And because we've already added some interest with the red on this row, now I want to add some interest with our last color. And I'm going to continue to do the back post single crochet, but that stitch will show. We're still going to come into that double crochet in the center of the petal from the previous row, beginning with a slip knot on my hook. I'm going to come into from the back around that center double crochet and single crochet. Got 2 loops on the hook, pull through that loop. Now don't make these too tight if you really want them to show. They just barely peekaboo. Now chain 4. Find that center double crochet from the next petal from the previous row and insert the hook from behind, pull through a loop and single crochet. Okay, see, they just barely show, but it's just a little bit of added interest to the flower. Chain 4 and repeat that all the way around for a total of 6 chain spaces. You can have all kinds of interesting flowers with this Irish rose. If you had something that was a little fuzzier, maybe a brushed yarn for this last row, that would be interesting. Add to a yarn color, also put in a fur yarn, or just use the fur yarn. That would be interesting. There's all kinds of things that can be done with these flowers that make it fun. Okay, now into that very first back post single crochet, add a slip stitch, get in there. If you can only get 1 loop like I can there, then that's fine. It's just to attach, to join. It's just a join. And into the next chain space, single crochet, half double crochet, 2 doubles, and 3 trebles, two doubles, a half double, and a single. Exactly the same pattern that we used before in the previous flower. And then a chain. And repeat that process for the remainder of the petals. and chain 1 and slip stitch into the first single crochet. And then chain 1, pull up a loop, and clip the yarn. And that's how I crochet the 6-petal Irish rose. In a future video, hopefully tomorrow, I'm going to do a tutorial on the 8-petal Irish rose and bring in some new color combinations and thoughts about the Irish rose. Thank you for joining me today. Again, I really appreciate your time. I'd appreciate a thumbs up, and even more, I'd love for you to be a subscriber with that notification bell activated so you'll know every time I put up a new tutorial. And remember, be kind. Kindness is free. Let's spread it everywhere we go. And until I see you again, keep calm and crochet on.